Rob Lowe, now 61, has dropped a fresh update on the long-anticipated sequel to the beloved 1985 Brat Pack film Street Elmo's Fire. In an exclusive interview with People, Lowe revealed the project is firmly in motion, with the script actively in development and getting good. He stressed that returning to these iconic characters is especially timely and more than justified given the current life stage they're in. It's super valid to revisit those characters, Lowe said, pointing out that questions like what happens after college evolve into equally meaningful chapters later in life. For many original fans, these characters are now navigating midlife challenges that feel just as compelling as their initial post-graduation struggles. Sony Pictures officially confirmed in June 2024 that a sequel was in early development, inspired in part by renewed interest following Andrew McCarthy's 2024 documentary Brats, which reignited Brat Pack nostalgia. The original ensemble: Lowe, Billy Hicks, Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, Andy McDowell, and Mare Winningham, is reportedly on board, with Lowe emphasizing that everybody wants to do it. Demi Moore has also held meetings with studio executives and echoed that the cast is in and gung-ho. Importantly, Lowe acknowledges that the sequel isn't a mere nostalgia piece, it must stand on its own. The search for the right writer and story has slowed progress, but is intentional and crucial. The goal: find a narrative that honors who these characters are now, dealing with midlife joys and struggles such as divorce, parenting, possible health concerns, and career reinvention, while retaining the emotional honesty that made the original resonate. His commentary in October 2024 hinted at a deeper exploration of Billy Hicks's journey. After heading to New York at the end of the original, Billy saw his saxophone ambitions meet shifting musical tastes. Lowe, now 34 years sober, suggested the sequel might examine questions of addiction and recovery. Is Billy sober? Lowe teased, drawing on his own experience to inform the character's arc. This adds emotional resonance and depth to what might otherwise be a superficial reunion. Emilio Estevez, also speaking recently, confirmed that the sequel is being fast-tracked at Sony, with acclaimed writer Stuart Blumberg. The Kids Are All Right, penning the script, and Will Gluck, Anyone But You, producing. Estevez affirmed studio enthusiasm and noted that Lowe remains a driving force. Still, not everyone is convinced. Adam Fields, a producer behind other 80s classics like 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club, cautioned that these stories were moment-in-time pieces. While he supports streaming helping new audiences discover old favorites, he questions whether bringing them back risks diluting their impact. Despite such reservations, the timing feels right in the eyes of Lowe and his castmates. McCarthy recently told People that earlier efforts to reunite may have fallen flat. But as the actors age, the project now feels less about proving anything and more about genuine storytelling. Casting talks are reportedly well underway. Lowe noted that he's in active contact with Demi Moore regarding her return as Jules. The entire group is committed, with Moore also meeting with the studio to explore returning. Production insiders say the film is shaping up to embrace middle-age dynamics, friendships, heartbreak, healing, rather than leaning solely on teenage nostalgia. Behind the scenes, Sony supports the legacy sequel strategy that has worked with other franchises. With original players returning, a top-tier creative team, and a built-in fanbase, Street Elmo's Fire 2 could captivate both longtime viewers and new audiences curious about where the characters are now. For Lowe, this project is deeply personal. As someone who has lived through the highs of early fame, the challenges of addiction, and decades of Hollywood reinvention, he brings authenticity to the character of Billy. His commitment to exploring sobriety and personal growth adds richness. He emphasized, "It's never too late for happiness," underscoring his belief that this sequel could be emotionally meaningful, not just a box office play. With scripting underway, a producer and writer now attached, and all major players enthusiastic and motivated, Street Elmo's Fire 2 may finally emerge from development limbo. Rob Lowe encapsulated the spirit behind the project, revisiting beloved friends, confronting the real complexities of life in middle age, and capturing the unique bond that made the original so cherished. If all goes according to plan, audiences could see the sequel in production within the next year or so. For now, the cast is writing, reviewing and rallying around a story that feels super valid, a mature, reflective continuation of a classic that once defined a generation and may well redefine itself for the